He was kicked out at 16 with nothing but his dog. Then they found an abandoned cabin. What Liam discovered inside would change everything he thought he knew about his family. Hello, everyone! Before we start, join our YouTube family by subscribing to the channel. Don't forget to like this video and tell me in the comments, do you have dog and the name? Now let's get into the story. Liam was 18 now, but he had been on his own since he was 16. His stepfather had kicked him out one morning. "Go, you are not welcome here," he had said, slamming the door behind him. Liam had only a small backpack and Max, his loyal dog. Max was big, brown and fluffy with eyes full of understanding. Wherever Liam went, Max followed. He was not just a dog, he was Liam's best friend. For 2 years, Liam had slept in tents near the edges of Maple Ridge, a peaceful mountain town. People hardly noticed him. Most mornings he would wake up to the sound of birds, the smell of fresh pine, and the distant laugh of children heading to school. Some days he went hungry. Some nights the cold made him shiver so hard he thought his teeth would break. But he never gave up. Not because he was brave, but because Max needed him, and he needed Max. One sunny morning, Liam and Max were exploring a small trail they hadn't been on before. The snow had melted weeks ago, leaving behind green grass and wildflowers poking through the dirt. Liam kicked a rock along the path, listening to it bounce. Max sniffed around, ears perked. Then Max suddenly stopped, ears straight, and barked sharply. "What is it, Max?" Liam asked. Max ran ahead a few steps and stopped near a cluster of trees. Liam followed. That's when he saw it. A small wooden cabin sat quietly in a clearing. Its roof was covered with moss and its windows were dusty. The door was locked with a thick chain. Liam's heart beat faster. Could someone really live here? He whispered. He took a step closer. Then he noticed a small metal plate nailed to the door. It was old, scratched, but he could read the name carved into it. Elias Rowan. Liam froze. Rowan. That was his mother's last name. His mother had died when he was 12. She never spoke much about her family. Liam had always wondered if there were relatives somewhere hidden from him. Could this cabin belong to them? Max scratched at the door, whining softly. Liam crouched and touched the chain. It was heavy, but he felt a strange pull toward the cabin. He wanted to see what was inside. He set up his small tent nearby and decided to camp for the night. The air was warm for a mountain morning, the sun spilling golden light across the grass. But even with the sunlight, Liam felt nervous. Something about the cabin felt alive, like it was waiting for him. During the day, he explored the area around the cabin. Behind it, hidden by tall grass, he discovered a wooden box half buried in dirt and leaves. Carefully, he opened it. Inside was a small key and a folded piece of paper. Liam's hands trembled as he unfolded the note. It read, "For my grandson. If you found this, you are ready." Liam's eyes widened. Grandson, him? He had never known he had a grandfather. And now this note, this key, suggested that someone had left something for him, hidden and waiting. With Max by his side, he tried the key on the cabin door. It fit. The chain clicked open. Liam took a deep breath and pushed the door. The cabin smelled of old wood, dust, and pine. Sunlight streamed through the cracked windows, lighting up a wooden table, a fireplace, and shelves filled with books covered in dust. One wall, however, looked different. There was a steel door with a keypad. Above it, words were engraved. "The truth is buried under the light." Liam frowned. Light? What did it mean? He walked around, inspecting the cabin. Max wandered nearby, sniffing everything. Liam realized that the cabin had been abandoned for years, but it had something important hidden inside, something that his grandfather had left for him. Just then, a truck engine roared outside. Liam's stomach sank. Someone had seen him. He ducked behind the cabin with Max, watching carefully. A tall man stepped out of the truck. He wore a neat suit and an expensive coat. His face was smooth, but his eyes cold. This was Victor Hale, the man everyone in town whispered about. He owned most of the land around Maple Ridge and wanted more. "Well, well," Victor said, looking at the cabin. "You found the old Rowan place." Liam stepped forward. "How do you know this place?" Victor smiled in a fake, polite way. "That land belongs to me now." "No," Liam shouted. "This is my family's place. It belongs to my grandfather." Victor laughed, a harsh sound. "Your grandfather? He sold the land years ago. No one remembers him now. You're just a boy. Leave." Liam clenched his fists. His heart raced. He wanted to run, to hide, but something inside told him he couldn't. This was his family. This was his home, or at least it could be. Victor got into his truck and drove off. But not before warning, "You have one day. Leave or I call the sheriff." Liam turned to Max. "We can't let him win. Max, we have to find out what our family left here." He walked back to the steel door. "The truth is buried under the light." He looked around. Then he noticed the small lamp hanging from the ceiling. Its glass glowed faintly in the sun. Liam lifted it and saw that it had a tiny solar panel on top. Maybe this was the light? He carried the lamp outside into the sunlight, hoping that it would do something. After some time, the lamp's small battery lit up, glowing green. Liam placed it back against the steel door. The keypad blinked. Then, click. The door slowly opened. Behind it was a hidden room filled with solar panels, wind turbine models, blueprints, and a large journal. Liam opened the journal carefully. His grandfather's handwriting filled the pages. He read slowly. "I built a clean energy system for this town, but Victor Hale's father tried to steal it. I refused. They forced me to sell the land. I hid the final design. One day my grandson will finish it." Liam could hardly breathe. He had thought he was alone, forgotten. But now he realized that his grandfather had left him a mission. Max barked softly, nudging Liam's hand. Liam smiled through tears. He wasn't just a lonely boy anymore. He had a purpose. But outside, Victor was returning with men and tools. They wanted to tear everything down. Liam's heart raced. This was just the beginning. Liam stood frozen as Victor's truck disappeared around the bend. The wind rustled through the trees, making the leaves whisper like old secrets. Max nudged Liam's leg and barked softly as if saying, "We can do this." Liam's hand still shook. He looked at the steel door, the small glowing lamp, and the hidden room beyond. Machines, blueprints, journals, all waiting for him. His grandfather had left a legacy, and now it was his turn. But first he needed to understand it. He carefully laid out the journals on the dusty table. Every page had sketches of wind turbines, solar panels, and detailed instructions. Liam had never studied anything like this in school. He only knew the basics. But he was determined. If his grandfather had trusted him with this, he could learn. Max sat beside him, tilting his head as if he was thinking too. Liam smiled faintly. "Don't worry, Max. We'll figure this out together." Hours passed. Liam read and reread the instructions. He made sketches of his own. He organized the room, placing the blueprints in order. Then he noticed something unusual. There was a small map tucked in the corner of the journal, almost invisible. It showed the forest around the cabin, with a tiny mark labeled Wind Tower Secret Storage. Liam's pulse quickened. The wind tower was the small, broken windmill he had seen behind the cabin. Could it really hide the legal papers for the land? Could it be the key to proving that Victor was lying? Determined, Liam put on his coat, grabbed a flashlight, and headed outside with Max. The sun was lower now, painting the town in warm orange and gold. The windmill creaked as the breeze passed through its rusty blades. Liam approached it cautiously. Max sniffed around the base, tail wagging. Liam looked closer and noticed a metal plate secured with a tiny latch. He lifted it. Inside, hidden carefully, was a sealed tube. His hands trembled as he pulled it out. Inside were old official papers, stamps, signatures, seals. Liam read the names. His name, Liam Rowan, was on every document. His heart leapt. The land had never truly been sold. It was his legally. Suddenly a shout echoed from the forest. "Liam, step away from there!" Victor appeared with several workers, tools in hand. His eyes were furious, his face red with anger. "Give me those papers!" "That land belongs to me now." Liam held the tube tightly. "No, these are mine. My grandfather left them for me." Victor sneered. "You think some papers can stop me? You're just a boy. You have no power here." Liam backed toward the cabin. "Max, stay close." Max barked, growled, and positioned himself between Liam and Victor. The workers hesitated, unsure what to do. They were here to follow orders, not start a fight. Liam knew he couldn't face them alone. He had to be smart. He ran inside the cabin and slammed the steel door, activating the hidden room again. Victor banged on it. "You little brat. Open this door," Victor shouted. "You'll regret this." Liam's mind raced. He remembered the solar lamp. Maybe it could trigger something else in the hidden room. He placed the lamp near the panels. The green light blinked and a small mechanism inside the wall whirred. A hidden compartment in the floor slid open, revealing more documents and blueprints. Victor's face turned pale. He stepped back. "What is this?" he demanded. "These are your lies, Victor," Liam said, holding up the papers. You didn't buy the land. You tried to steal my grandfather's work. But the law is clear. This land belongs to me." Victor's hand shook. He realized that Liam had proof he couldn't deny. This isn't over," he hissed. "You can't do this to me." Outside, a town officer's whistle blew. Someone had seen the confrontation and called for help. Victor and his workers froze. The officer arrived quickly, taking one look at the documents. "These are legitimate," the officer said firmly. "Victor Hale, you have no claim here. The trust is valid. The land belongs to Liam Rowan." Victor turned, his face red with rage, and stormed off. His workers followed silently, avoiding Liam's gaze. The forest around the cabin grew quiet again. Liam sank to the floor, Max resting his head on his lap. He could barely believe what had happened. The cabin, the windmill, the hidden room, they were all part of a plan his grandfather had left for him. And Max had been there every step of the way, helping him find the truth. Hours later, Liam stepped outside, looking at the town. The sun was setting behind the mountains, painting the sky in pink, orange, and gold. He felt a deep sense of pride. For the first time in years, he felt at home. The land was his. His grandfather's legacy was safe. But there was more to do. The hidden room wasn't just about proving ownership. It was about the energy project. Liam looked at the small models of solar panels and wind turbines. If he could make them work, he could bring clean energy to the town. He smiled faintly. Max wagged his tail. "This is just the beginning, Max," Liam whispered. "We're going to finish what Grandpa started. We're going to change everything." That night, Liam slept soundly in the cabin, not just for safety, but for the first time in years he slept with hope. The journey ahead was long, but he was ready. He wasn't just a boy who had been kicked out. He was Liam Rowan, the grandson of Elias Rowan, and he had a purpose that no one could take away. The next morning he stepped outside. The windmill creaked gently in the breeze. Birds chirped from the trees. The town below seemed peaceful and bright. Liam felt a spark of inspiration. He had survived the harsh years alone. He had fought the greedy Victor. And now, with Max and the hidden room's secrets, he had the chance to build something great, something life-changing, something that would not just belong to him, but to the whole town. And in that moment, Liam knew. This was the start of a new adventure, one full of discovery, hope, and light. The morning sun spilled golden light across the small mountain town. Liam stepped outside the cabin, his breath visible in the crisp air. Max wagged his tail, circling around him, ears perked. Birds chirped in the trees, and the distant sound of a river flowing reminded Liam that life went on, even after everything he had been through. The cabin looked ordinary now, but inside, it held secrets that could change everything, not just for Liam, but for the entire town. He took a deep breath, thinking of the hidden room, the solar lamp, the windmill, and the journals left by his grandfather, Elias Rowan. Liam opened the journals again, reading slowly. Each page was filled with sketches of turbines, solar panels, and intricate wiring diagrams. There were calculations about energy storage, maps of the town's power lines, and notes about how the system could provide electricity to every home. At first, it was overwhelming. Liam had never built anything like this before. He had only basic knowledge about machines and electricity. But the more he read, the more he realized his grandfather had written every instruction clearly, step by step, as if he had known Liam would need guidance. Hours passed, and Liam sketched his own notes, copying diagrams, and trying to imagine how the project would work. Max lay nearby, occasionally nudging Liam's hand as if to encourage him. Liam smiled. "We can do this, Max, we really can." Then Liam noticed a folded page tucked at the very back of the journal. It had a hand-drawn map showing a part of the forest he had never explored. A small circle marked secret water supply, energy source. Liam's heart raced. Could his grandfather have hidden another part of the project outside the cabin? Something that would make the energy system even more powerful? He grabbed a backpack, some tools, and the map. Max barked, ready to follow. They walked through the forest, the soft sunlight filtering through tall trees, lighting their path. Birds flew overhead, and the sound of leaves rustling in the wind created a peaceful rhythm. After a while, they reached a small clearing with a stream. The map indicated that a small dam had been built here years ago. Liam knelt down, inspecting the water. The stream flowed steadily, perfect for generating hydroelectric power. "This is it, Max," Liam whispered. Grandpa thought of everything. He carefully examined the area, imagining how he could connect it to the windmill and solar panels. He could almost see the energy flowing, lighting every home in the town. For a moment, Liam allowed himself to dream. The boy who had been kicked out, the boy who had slept in tents, could now create something that mattered to everyone. As Liam worked, he heard footsteps behind him. He froze. Max growled softly, ears alert. "Who's there?" Liam called. A young man stepped out from behind a tree. He looked around Liam's age with curious eyes. "I didn't mean to scare you," he said quickly. "I'm Alex. I live in the town. I've heard about this cabin and your grandfather's project." Liam frowned. "You have?" Alex nodded. "Yes. People say Elias Rowan was trying to make energy for everyone. But Victor Hale's family ruined it. My parents told me stories about how he was forced to sell the land unfairly." Liam's pulse quickened. "You know Victor Hale?" Alex shook his head. "I've never met him, but everyone knows he's greedy. If he finds out you're here, he'll try to take it. That's why I came. I want to help." Liam hesitated. Trust was not easy, but something in Alex's eyes seemed genuine. He nodded slowly. "Okay, but you have to follow my grandfather's instructions exactly. We can't make mistakes." Alex smiled. "I understand. Let's see what we can do." Together they returned to the cabin. Liam showed Alex the journals, the hidden room, and the plans for the solar panels and wind turbine. Alex's eyes widened in amazement. "This is incredible. Your grandfather thought of everything. If we build this right, the town could have electricity for free." For the next few days, Liam and Alex worked tirelessly. They cleaned the cabin, organized the journals, repaired old tools, and tested small solar panels. Max stayed by Liam's side, guarding him and bringing tools when needed. But just as progress seemed smooth, trouble arrived. Victor Hale had returned. This time he brought his lawyers and construction workers. They claimed the land was theirs and demanded that Liam leave immediately. Liam stood firm, holding the legal papers he had found in the windmill. "These belong to me. The trust is valid. You have no claim." Victor sneered. "I don't care about your papers. I will destroy your project if I have to." For the first time, Liam realized that Victor would not give up easily. He had underestimated the challenge ahead. The fight wasn't just about proving ownership. It was about protecting his grandfather as legacy and finishing the project. That night, Liam couldn't sleep. He sat on the cabin porch, staring at the windmill's rusty blades turning in the breeze. Max lay beside him. Liam thought about all the hardships he had endured. The cold nights, the hunger, the feeling of being unwanted. And now here he was with a mission, allies, and hope. Something inside him shifted. He realized that the real challenge was not just fighting Victor. It was understanding and completing the project. Every blueprint, every machine, every hidden note was a piece of a puzzle. And the bigger the puzzle, the bigger the reward. The next morning, Liam woke with determination. He had discovered that some of the solar panels needed repairs. Some batteries had to be recalibrated, and the windmill's blades had to be reinforced. He knew it would take time, but he was ready. As he worked, he found a small compartment inside the windmill he had never noticed before. Inside was another journal, smaller and older. Its pages were fragile. Liam opened it carefully. It was written by his grandfather, but in a different tone. It spoke about Victor Hale's father, who had tried to steal the original energy designs. It also contained a warning. The project is not just about energy. It is about hope. Protect it, and it will protect you. Beware those who are greedy. They will do anything to stop you. Liam's heart raced. He realized the truth. This project was bigger than just electricity. It was a symbol of his grandfather's fight for fairness, for the town and for the future. Max barked softly, nudging Liam's hand. Liam smiled. He wasn't alone. He had Max, he had Alex, and he had the guidance of his grandfather. And somewhere he knew the final twist was waiting. A secret that would change everything he believed about his grandfather, Victor Hale, and even himself. The next morning, the sun rose bright over the mountain town. Liam woke early. Max curled beside him. The cabin felt alive now, full of plans, papers, and the energy of possibility. Liam knew he had to work quickly. Every day that passed gave Victor another chance to interfere. He called Alex over, and together they inspected the windmill. Its rusty blades were slowly turning in the morning breeze. Liam opened the secret compartment again, and carefully studied the smaller journal. There was a note he had never seen before tucked between pages. "Liam, you must understand this. My work is not just energy. It is a map, a path to something greater. Only when you follow every clue will you see the truth." Liam frowned. A map, a path? Could it mean more than the windmill and solar panels? Max barked and ran toward the edge of the forest. Liam and Alex followed, curious. The dog stopped at the base of an old oak tree. Liam looked closely and noticed a small carved symbol, a sun over a mountain. It matched a drawing in the small journal. "This is another clue," Liam whispered. He dug carefully around the roots and uncovered a tiny metal box. Inside was a small key and a folded piece of paper with a map. The map led to a hidden cabin deeper in the forest. Liam's heart raced. Could his grandfather have left another secret location? As they prepared to follow the map, Victor arrived again, this time more aggressive. His truck screeched to a halt and he stormed toward Liam. "I warned you," Victor shouted. "Hand over everything or I'll tear this place down." Liam held the key and map tightly. "No, Victor. My grandfather left this for me. You will never take it." Victor laughed cruelly. "You're just a boy playing at being smart. I've spent my life taking what I want, and I'm not stopping for you." Alex stepped forward. "Victor, stop. This isn't just about land. It's about what Elias Rowan left behind. You know nothing about it." Victor sneered. "I know enough, and soon I'll destroy your little project." But Liam wasn't afraid anymore. He realized that Victor's greed had blinded him. The true secret was not about the land or even the energy. It was something bigger, something his grandfather had hidden carefully for the right person. Following the map, Liam and Alex, with Max leading, walked deeper into the forest. Sunlight filtered through the tall trees, casting playful shadows. Birds sang as if guiding them. After an hour, they reached a small clearing with a second cabin. This one was even older, almost hidden under vines and moss. Liam's hand shook as he inserted the key into the lock. It clicked. The door opened slowly, revealing a room filled with blueprints, old machinery, and a strange device that Liam had never seen before. It was a large, spherical contraption with glass panels, small wind turbines, and wiring connecting to several old batteries. Alex gasped. "What is this?" Liam read the journal carefully. His grandfather's handwriting explained it. "This is the ultimate clean energy system. It combines wind, solar, and water power to create limitless electricity. But more importantly, it is a blueprint for a new kind of community. One that can thrive without greed, without exploitation. Only someone who truly cares about people can complete it." Liam felt a lump in his throat. He understood now. This was the twist. His grandfather had designed not just a project to power homes, but a project to teach responsibility, fairness, and hope. Victor's greed had blinded him to the true purpose. As they studied the device, Victor arrived once more, this time with a backhoe and construction crew. He was determined to destroy everything. "You can't stop me," Victor shouted. But Liam remained calm. "We don't need to fight with force. We have something stronger: truth and the support of the town." He called the local residents, who had been curious about the cabin and the windmill. Soon townspeople arrived, some bringing tools, others just standing in support. They had heard of Elias Rowan and respected his dedication. Victor looked around, furious. "This is insane! You can't all stop me." Liam smiled faintly. "We don't have to stop you. We just need to show everyone what's right." With the townspeople helping, Liam and Alex completed the energy setup. Sunlight hit the solar panels. Wind spun the turbines. Water flowed through the small channels, powering the device. Slowly, lights flickered on throughout the clearing and then in the town. Victor's face turned pale as he saw the town celebrating. Liam's grandfather had left proof, guidance, and inspiration. No greed could overcome that. Victor finally left, defeated. The townspeople cheered not just for electricity, but for Liam's courage, his perseverance, and the legacy he had carried forward. Liam stood beside Max and Alex, looking at the spinning turbines and glowing solar panels. He felt a deep sense of fulfillment. He had been kicked out, left alone, and faced greed and doubt, but he had also discovered hope, family, and purpose. The hidden room, the windmill, the second cabin, all were pieces of a puzzle that showed him a larger truth. Life was not about taking or being alone. It was about building, helping, and sharing light with others. For the first time, Liam truly understood his grandfather's words. True power is not money. It is light you share with others. Max barked happily, circling around Liam's legs. Liam smiled and patted his head. He wasn't just the boy who had been kicked out at 16. He was the grandson of Elias Rowan. He had found the cabin, discovered the secret, and changed the future of his town. And this was only the beginning of their adventure. The sun rose gently over Maple Ridge, casting a warm golden glow across the mountain town. Liam stepped outside the cabin with Max, taking in the peaceful scenery. Birds chirped, the wind rustled through the trees, and the faint sound of water from the stream added to the calm morning. It was beautiful, yet Liam's heart raced. Today felt different. Victor Hale had not disappeared completely. The man's greed was a shadow over everything Liam had worked for. Even though the town supported him, Victor was patient, cunning, and powerful. Liam knew he couldn't let his guard down. He checked the solar panels on the windmill and the water channels connected to the stream. Everything was working perfectly, humming with energy, as sunlight and wind powered the devices. He looked at Alex, who was sketching modifications for the system. "We're almost there," Alex said, eyes shining with excitement. "Just a few adjustments, and the system can provide electricity to the whole town." Liam nodded, feeling proud. It was hard to believe that the boy who had been kicked out at 16, sleeping in tents with Max beside him, was now leading a project that could change the lives of everyone in Maple Ridge. Suddenly, a truck engine roared in the distance. Liam's stomach tightened. He and Max rushed to the edge of the clearing and saw Victor approaching again, this time more furious than ever. Behind him were several men with tools, ready to destroy anything in their path. "This ends today," Victor shouted. "I'm taking this land, these projects, and everything else you've touched." Liam stood firm. He held the journal in one hand and the windmill key in the other. Max growled low, standing protectively at Liam's side. "We don't need to fight you," Liam said calmly. "Everything you see here belongs to my grandfather, and now, to me. The town supports me. You can't take this." Victor laughed cruelly. "Support? You think a few townspeople can stop me? You're a child playing with toys." But as Victor stepped closer, the townspeople appeared from the trees and roads leading to the clearing. Farmers, shopkeepers, school teachers, even children. They had come together, holding papers, tools, and lanterns. They had seen the truth in Liam's grandfather's journals. Victor stopped in his tracks, his face turned red with rage. "This isn't fair," he shouted. "The law's on my side." One of the officers who had verified the trust stepped forward. "No, Victor. The trust is valid. All documents confirm Liam Rowan is the rightful owner. You have no claim here." Victor's hand shook. He looked around, realizing the town was united. His schemes, his threats, and his greed had failed. Liam had not just protected his grandfather's project. He had inspired a community to stand together. But Victor, desperate, charged toward the windmill, attempting to sabotage it. Liam reacted instinctively, moving quickly to block him. Max barked and lunged, forcing Victor to stumble back. A few townspeople helped secure the machinery. Victor's final attempt failed. Exhausted and furious, he turned away, realizing that he could not win. His reputation would never recover, and the town's support for Liam and the Rowan legacy was stronger than any threat he could muster. Breathing heavily, Liam looked around. The windmill blade spun smoothly. The solar panels glimmered in the sunlight, and the stream's water flowed perfectly through the channels. Energy hummed through the devices, lighting up small lamps placed around the clearing and extending to the town below. Max barked happily, circling Liam's legs. Liam smiled. He had done it. The project was alive. The legacy was safe. Alex approached him, smiling widely. "You did it, Liam. Grandpa would be proud." Liam nodded, feeling a deep sense of fulfillment. He realized that this project was more than energy. It was about people, hope, and fairness. Victor's greed had failed because it had no heart. Liam's perseverance, guided by his grandfather's wisdom, had won. As the sun climbed higher, casting light over the mountains, Liam finally understood the last part of his grandfather's journal. True power is not money. It is light you share with others. Protect it, nurture it, and it will protect you in return. Liam looked at Max and whispered, "We've done it, buddy. We've really done it." The townspeople gathered around, cheering, celebrating not just electricity but the courage, hope, and community that Liam had brought back. The cabins, the windmill, and the secret rooms were no longer just structures. They were symbols of resilience and change. The town of Maple Ridge glowed under the afternoon sun. Electricity now flowed through every home, powered by Liam's completed energy project. Lights shimmered in windows, fans spun in kitchens, and children ran outside, marveling at the flickering lamps. It was a bright, hopeful day, unlike anything Liam had ever seen in the 2 years he had been alone. Liam stood on the cabin's porch with Max at his feet, looking out over the town. He felt a mixture of pride, relief, and disbelief. The boy who had been kicked out at 16 was now the one who had brought light, literally and metaphorically, to an entire community. Alex joined him, carrying a box of tools and small notes. "Everything is working perfectly," he said. "The town doesn't have to worry about electricity for years. And you even found a way to store energy efficiently. Your grandfather's designs were genius." Liam smiled, running a hand over Max's head. "I just had to follow the instructions. And a little help from you." The windmill creaked softly in the breeze, spinning steadily as sunlight reflected off the solar panels. Liam realized that every step, every struggle, every moment of fear had led him here. Victor Hale's attempts to stop him had only made him stronger. Liam had learned patience, courage, and the value of community. Just then a group of townspeople approached. They clapped and cheered, some carrying food and blankets for Liam and Alex. "You've changed everything, Liam," said Mrs. Turner, the school teacher. "We never thought a boy alone could accomplish so much." Liam shook his head, feeling a warmth in his chest. "I didn't do it alone. My grandfather left the path. And Max and Alex helped too." The small cabin, once dusty and hidden, now felt alive. The steel door had been opened for the last time, revealing not just the secret machines, but the story of a man who had fought for fairness, innovation, and hope. Liam thought of his mother, of the words she had whispered before she died. "Your grandfather was brave. Liam, one day you'll understand why." Now he did. Elias Rowan had protected the secret, because he wanted the right person to continue it. Liam wasn't just inheriting land or machines, he was inheriting responsibility, vision, and the chance to make a difference. Victor Hale had left town in defeat, humiliated. His greed had failed against truth and community. The lesson was clear: power without purpose could not last, but courage and care for others could move mountains. Liam spent the following days improving the energy system. He reinforced the windmill, repaired old solar panels, and connected the water channels to small turbines. He even created a small workshop where he could teach local children about clean energy. The town began to transform. Families could afford new tools. Lights allowed children to study after dark, and small businesses thrived. Maple Ridge was alive in a way it had never been before. One evening, as the sun set behind the mountains, Liam and Max sat on the porch. Alex joined them, carrying a cup of warm tea. "Do you ever think about how different things could have been?" Alex asked. Liam smiled. "Sometimes. But then I remember, if I hadn't been kicked out, if I hadn't struggled, I wouldn't have found the cabin. I wouldn't have discovered Grandpa's secrets, and I wouldn't have had the chance to do this. Everything happens for a reason." Max barked softly as if agreeing. Liam laughed and patted him on the head. "You found it first, buddy. You led me here. We did this together." As darkness fell, lights glowed across Maple Ridge, powered entirely by the renewable energy system Liam had completed. He looked at the windmill spinning in the twilight, the solar panels reflecting the last rays of sunlight, and felt a deep sense of peace. He was no longer the boy kicked out at 16. He was Liam Rowan, grandson of Elias Rowan. He had discovered hidden secrets, faced greed and fear, and transformed an entire town. And most importantly, he had learned the greatest lesson his grandfather had wanted him to understand. True power is not money. It is light you share with others. The stars twinkled above, and the wind carried a soft hum from the turbines. Liam sat quietly, feeling hope, gratitude, and purpose fill him completely. The future was bright, and he was ready for it. Max curled at his feet. Alex smiled beside him. And the cabin, the place that had changed everything, stood strong behind them. Liam knew that whatever challenges came next, he had the courage, wisdom, and heart to face them. For the first time in his life, he was truly home.